In the heart of the Middle East along the Mediterranean Sea lies Israel. It's a nation both ancient and modern. Though small, it holds global significance. This strip of land is incredibly diverse, where desert meets fertile valleys, and ancient ruins stand beside modern skyscrapers. Understanding Israel starts with its people, a mosaic of cultures. The majority is Jewish, but Israel is also home to a large Arab minority, as well as other communities. The geography is as varied as its population. In the north, the green Galilee. Along the coast, Mediterranean beaches. Venture south to the Negev Desert. To the east, the Dead Sea. The capital is Jerusalem, revered by 3 religions, though its status is disputed. The financial hub is Tel Aviv. To speak of Israel is to speak of history itself. This land is often called the Holy Land, and for good reason. It is a place of profound spiritual importance for 3 of the world's major religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. For Jews, it is the promised land of their ancestors, the heart of their faith and identity. For Christians, it is the land where Jesus Christ lived, preached, and was crucified. For Muslims, it is the site of the Prophet Muhammad's night journey to heaven. This unique convergence of faiths has made Israel a destination for pilgrims and a focal point of religious devotion for millennia, shaping its past and defining its present. The story of the modern state of Israel began in 1948. In the aftermath of World War II and the Holocaust, the United Nations proposed a plan to partition the land, creating separate Arab and Jewish states. On May 14, 1948, Israel declared its independence. This declaration was immediately met with conflict, leading to the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. This war was the first of several major conflicts that have defined the nation's history and its relationships with its neighbors. The struggle for security, recognition, and peace has been a constant theme throughout Israel's journey, influencing its politics, its society, and the daily lives of its people. The layers of history are visible everywhere you look in Israel. In Jerusalem's Old City, you can walk through narrow stone alleyways that have been trodden for centuries. Here, you will find the Western Wall, the last remaining retaining wall of the ancient Jewish temple, a sacred site of prayer and pilgrimage. Nearby stands the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, venerated by Christians as the site of the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. And overlooking it all is the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque, one of the holiest sites in Islam. These sacred places exist in close proximity, a powerful symbol of both shared heritage and deep-seated division. Beyond Jerusalem, history echoes across the country. You can explore the ancient fortress of Masada perched on a cliff overlooking the Dead Sea, where Jewish rebels made their last stand against the Romans. You can visit the Roman ruins in Caesarea, once a grand port city on the Mediterranean. Or you can travel to the Galilee to see sites associated with the life of Jesus, like the Sea of Galilee in Capernaum. This deep connection to the past is not just a tourist attraction, it is a fundamental part of Israel's national identity. It informs the present and raises profound questions about the future. While Israel is deeply rooted in its ancient history, it is also a nation that is relentlessly focused on the future. In just a few decades, it has transformed itself into a global powerhouse of technology and innovation. This has earned it the nickname Startup Nation. Despite its small size and limited natural resources, Israel has one of the highest concentrations of startups per capita in the world. Its economy is driven by cutting-edge industries, from cybersecurity and artificial intelligence to biotechnology and medical devices. This remarkable economic success story is a testament to the country's emphasis on education, research, and a culture of entrepreneurship. This spirit of innovation is not limited to high-tech offices in Tel Aviv. It extends to solving some of the country's most pressing challenges. Facing a naturally arid environment, Israel has become a world leader in water technology. It pioneered drip irrigation, a method that saves water and has revolutionized agriculture in dry climates around the globe. The nation has also perfected desalination, the process of turning seawater into fresh drinking water, with massive plants along the coast providing a significant portion of the country's water needs. This ability to turn scarcity into an opportunity for invention is a key part of the Israeli story. Israel's culture is a vibrant fusion of traditions from around the world, mixed with a distinctly Mediterranean and Middle Eastern flavor. This is evident in its food, where you can find dishes like falafel, hummus, and shawarma, alongside influences from Jewish communities that immigrated from Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. The arts scene is equally dynamic. with Israeli musicians winning international competitions like Eurovision and its films and television shows gaining global acclaim. This cultural richness reflects the diverse origins of its people, creating a society that is at once Israeli and international. Ultimately, Israel is a nation of profound complexity. It is a country where ancient traditions coexist with modern ambitions, where deep-seated conflicts persist alongside a powerful drive for progress. It matters on a global scale not just because of its sacred history or its political tensions, but because of its role as a center for innovation that impacts the world. Understanding Israel means looking at all these facets together, its ancient past, its challenging present, and its innovative future. It is a story of conflict and creativity, of faith and technology, and of a people striving to build a nation in a land of enduring significance. The story of modern Israel begins long before 1948, in the hearts of a people scattered across the globe. For centuries, the Jewish people lived in diaspora, connected to their ancestral homeland, Eretz Yisrael. The longing for return endured through persecution. In the late 19th century, this longing transformed into Zionism, led by Theodor Herzl. Zionism proposed a solution to anti-Semitism, a sovereign state in their homeland. Waves of Jewish immigrants, aliyot, began arriving. They established kibbutzim and moshavim, reviving Hebrew. The Balfour Declaration in 1917 announced British support for a Jewish national home in Palestine. This foreshadowed future conflicts in the region. After World War I and the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, the League of Nations granted Britain the mandate for Palestine. This placed the territory under British administration, tasked with contradictory responsibilities. Jewish immigration increased, especially with the rise of Nazism, alarming the Arab population. They feared displacement and a threat to their culture. This led to rising tensions and violence, including the 1936 to 1939 Arab Revolt. Britain's 1939 White Paper restricted Jewish immigration, a betrayal as the Holocaust unfolded. Post-war, the Holocaust's horrors increased pressure for a solution. Jewish militias fought British rule. Exhausted, Britain handed the problem to the UN in 1947. In 1947, the United Nations voted to partition Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem under international control. Jewish communities celebrated, but the Arab world rejected the plan, seeing it as unjust and illegitimate. Violence erupted immediately, escalating into civil war as the British prepared to leave. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the independence of the State of Israel in Tel Aviv. The declaration promised equality and peace, but war was imminent. Within hours, Israel was under attack, fighting for survival from its very first day. The birth of Israel was marked not by peace, but by conflict and uncertainty. The day after Israel declared independence, 5 Arab armies invaded, launching the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Outnumbered and under-equipped, Israel's new defense forces faced overwhelming odds. Early defeats threatened the state's existence, but UN truces allowed Israel to regroup and secure vital arms. Renewed fighting saw Israel push back the invaders, break the siege of Jerusalem, and expand its territory beyond the UN plan. By 1949, armistice agreements ended the fighting, but not the conflict. For Israelis, it was a hard-won victory. For Palestinians, a catastrophe. Hundreds of thousands became refugees. The war's legacy would haunt the region for generations. Tensions simmered after 1948, erupting in 1967 as Egypt blockaded Israel and massed troops on its border. Israel launched a preemptive strike, destroying Arab air forces and gaining air supremacy. In 6 days, Israeli forces captured the Sinai, Gaza, West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Golan Heights. The victory redrew the map and gave Israel strategic depth, but also control over millions of Palestinians. The new borders created fresh challenges and fueled future conflict. The 6-day war transformed the Middle East, but peace remained elusive. The captured territories would become the heart of future disputes. In 1973, Israel's confidence was shattered when Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack on Yom Kippur. Israeli defenses were overwhelmed. The nation faced its gravest crisis since independence. After initial setbacks, Israel counterattacked, aided by a massive U.S. airlift. The IDF pushed back, crossing into Egypt and threatening Damascus. The war ended after 3 weeks with heavy losses on all sides. The myth of Israeli invincibility was gone, replaced by a sobering sense of vulnerability. The conflict set the stage for future diplomacy and new hope for peace. The trauma of war opened the door to diplomacy. In 1977, Egyptian President Sadat visited Jerusalem, breaking a historic barrier. The Camp David Accords led to the 1979 Egypt-Israel peace treaty. Israel withdrew from Sinai. Egypt recognized Israel. The peace was cold but enduring. Sadat paid with his life. Later, the Oslo Accords brought limited Palestinian self-rule, and Jordan signed a peace treaty with Israel. Yet hopes for lasting peace faded as violence and mistrust returned. The quest for peace in the Middle East remains unfinished, marked by both breakthroughs and setbacks. At the heart of the regional conflict lies the Israeli-Palestinian issue. Decades of negotiations have not resolved key questions like borders, Jerusalem's status, settlements, and refugees. The conflict is marked by repeated cycles of violence. Palestinian leadership is divided between the Palestinian Authority and Hamas. A main concern for Israel is Iran, which doesn't recognize Israel, supports groups like Hezbollah, and pursues a nuclear program viewed as a threat. Despite threats, Israel maintains a vibrant democracy with a parliamentary system. Israeli politics are multi-party, leading to coalition governments. The Abraham Accords normalized relations with Arab nations, showing shared interests against Iran and fostering cooperation. These relationships exist alongside the conflict with the Palestinians and regional tensions. Israel, roughly the size of New Jersey, boasts a surprising landscape diversity. Travel from snow-dusted mountains to sun-scorched desert in hours. The Golan Heights in Galilee offer green, rugged terrain, fed by streams flowing into the Sea of Galilee. West of the Central Hills lies the coastal plain, a fertile strip along the Mediterranean. Eastward, the Jordan Rift Valley descends to the Dead Sea. The lowest point on Earth, its salty waters create effortless buoyancy. South of the Dead Sea, the Negev Desert unfolds. Covering half of Israel, it features rocky mountains and unique wildlife. This contrast makes Israel a land of incredible physical diversity. Just as Israel's geography is diverse, so too is its climate, which varies quite a lot from one region to another. The dominant climate in the northern and central parts is Mediterranean. This means long, hot, and dry summers, followed by short, cool, and rainy winters. In coastal cities like Tel Aviv, the summers are not only hot, but also very humid, thanks to the proximity to the sea. The winter months bring most of the annual rainfall, turning the hillsides green and replenishing water sources like the Sea of Galilee. It's a climate that has shaped agriculture and life for thousands of years. In contrast, the southern half of Israel, dominated by the Negev Desert, experiences an arid desert climate. Here, rainfall is extremely scarce and temperatures can soar to extreme highs. The city of Eilat, at the southernmost tip, is known for its year-round sunshine and very low precipitation. The desert air is much drier than along the coast, so the heat is often less oppressive than Tel Aviv's humid heat. This arid environment presents significant challenges and has pushed Israel to become a global leader in developing technologies to make the desert bloom. The transition between these climate zones creates interesting variations. The hills around Jerusalem have a slightly different climate. Because of their higher altitude, they're cooler and less humid in summer. In winter, these hills receive more rain and can sometimes see snow, an event that brings the country to a standstill with excitement. The Jordan Valley has its own unique microclimate. Its low elevation makes it very hot and dry year-round. This wide range of climatic conditions allows for diverse agricultural output, from citrus fruits on the coast to dates in the valley. This climate of contrasts brings unique weather phenomena. During spring and autumn seasons, Israel can be affected by hot, dry winds from the eastern deserts. Known as the Sharav in Hebrew or Kamsin in Arabic, these winds carry fine dust and sand, raising temperatures dramatically and turning the sky hazy orange. These weather patterns remind us of Israel's position at the Crossroads, the temperate Mediterranean to the west and vast, arid deserts to the east and south. This positioning defines not only the weather, but also the character and challenges of the land itself. To understand the people of Israel is to understand a story of return and reunion. The majority of Israel's population is Jewish, but this is not a monolithic group. Israeli Jews are a diverse mosaic of communities whose ancestors came from all corners of the globe. This Gathering of the Exiles is a core tenet of Zionism in the State of Israel. The population can be broadly divided into several groups based on their ancestral origins, such as Ashkenazi, Sephardic, and Mizrahi Jews. Over the generations, these lines have blurred significantly, creating a new, blended Israeli identity. Adding another layer is the deep divide between religious and secular Israelis, perhaps the most significant social cleavage in Israel today. Beyond the Jewish majority, Israel is home to diverse minority groups who are an integral part of the country's identity. The largest group is Arab citizens, about 21% of the population. They are Israeli citizens with the right to vote and are represented in the Knesset. The majority are Sunni Muslims, but there is also a significant Christian Arab community. The Druze community is a unique minority. Druze men are conscripted into the Israel Defense Forces and have a covenant of blood with the Jewish state. Other minorities include the Bedouins, Circassians, and a small community of Samaritans. Together, these groups make up the intricate human landscape of Israel, a society defined by its diversity. Israel's economic transformation has led to an incredible boom in technology and entrepreneurship, earning it the nickname Startup Nation. This is the result of a focus on education, research and development, and risk-taking. A synergy between academia, the military, and private industry has created fertile ground for new ideas. Early investments in military and defense sectors led to the creation of elite intelligence units, such as Unit 8200. Highly skilled veterans often take their expertise into the private sector founding companies. This flow of talent is a key ingredient in Israel's innovation, creating resilient entrepreneurs unafraid of failure. Tel Aviv stands at the heart of this startup nation. Its skyline houses offices of tech giants like Google and Apple. Alongside these giants, thousands of startups are working on the next big thing. This concentration of talent has created a dynamic atmosphere, solidifying its reputation as a global hub for technological creativity. While known for its high-tech sector, Israel's economy is surprisingly diverse, built on overcoming adversity. Long before software, Israel was known for agriculture. Facing an arid climate, Israeli pioneers developed revolutionary agricultural technologies like drip irrigation to make the desert bloom. Water technology remains a critical industry. Israel has perfected desalination. The technology sector remains the primary economic engine. A global leader in cybersecurity, its expertise stems from military intelligence. Beyond tech and agriculture, Israel excels in specialized industries like diamond cutting and defense. This diverse portfolio gives the Israeli economy resilience and a competitive edge. Israel's economic success is driven by its human capital and immense value on education. Universities and research institutions are world-renowned. This provides a steady stream of highly educated engineers, scientists, and thinkers. A key cultural trait is Chutzpah, audacity and boldness. It means a willingness to challenge authority and speak your mind. Immigration also plays a critical role. Israel has been built by immigrants, bringing diverse backgrounds and a drive to succeed. Despite achievements, Israel faces challenges like the high cost of living and a growing social and economic gap. Sustaining the startup nation requires addressing these challenges and spreading economic success more broadly. To truly understand a culture, start with its food. The Israeli kitchen is a vibrant reflection of the country's diverse population, a fusion of flavors from across the Middle East, the Mediterranean, and the global Jewish diaspora. On the streets of Tel Aviv and in the markets of Jerusalem, dishes tell stories of migration and shared heritage. The result is a cuisine that is both ancient and modern, deeply traditional yet constantly evolving. At its heart are fresh local ingredients like sun-ripened tomatoes and crisp cucumbers. Iconic street foods include falafel, crispy balls of fried ground chickpeas served in pita bread with hummus, and shawarma, spiced meat slow-roasted and shaved into laffa bread. Israeli cuisine is also known for metzeh, shared small plates. Another beloved dish is shakshuka, eggs poached in a spicy tomato sauce. Jewish culinary traditions also have a profound influence. Israeli food is a celebration of diversity and a flavorful expression of the nation's complex identity. The rhythm of life in Israel is unique, shaped by a calendar that blends modern work schedules with ancient traditions. The official work week runs from Sunday to Thursday. Friday is a shorter workday, a day of preparation for Shabbat. As Friday afternoon approaches, the pace slows down. Public transportation stops and most shops close for the next 25 hours. Shabbat begins at sunset on Friday and ends after nightfall on Saturday. For observant Jews, it is a sacred time of rest, dedicated to family, community, prayer, and reflection. The traditional Friday night dinner is a cornerstone of Israeli family life. For secular Israelis, Shabbat is also a day of rest and leisure, maybe at the beach, or just spending time with family. The frantic energy of the weekdays gives way to the profound quiet of Shabbat, followed by the start of a new week on Sunday morning. However, the role of religion in the public sphere is a subject of ongoing debate in Israeli society. This reflects the constant negotiation between Israel's identity as both a Jewish state and a modern, liberal democracy. Daily life in Israel is also deeply influenced by mandatory military service. This experience forges lifelong bonds and a deep sense of national responsibility. Israel's culture is not just defined by its history and traditions, it is also a vibrant and contemporary hub of artistic creativity. The country has a thriving art scene that is bold, innovative, and often engages directly with the nation's complex political and social realities. Israeli authors like David Grossman and the late Amos Oz have achieved international acclaim, with their novels translated into dozens of languages, offering nuanced and introspective windows into the Israeli soul. The theater scene is equally robust, with major companies like Habima Theater in Tel Aviv staging both classic plays and daring new works that challenge and provoke audiences. Music is an essential part of the Israeli cultural landscape, a soundtrack that blends East and West. The Israel Philharmonic Orchestra is world-renowned, but the popular music scene is just as dynamic. Israeli pop music often fuses Mediterranean melodies, Middle Eastern rhythms, and Western pop and rock influences. The country is also a passionate participant in the Eurovision Song Contest, which it has won 4 times, most recently in 2018 with the song Toy by Neda Barzilai. The song's unique style and message of empowerment captured the world's attention and showcased the creative and quirky side of modern Israeli culture. Music festivals are a popular part of the summer, drawing huge crowds to celebrate both local and international artists. In the world of visual and performing arts, Israel has also made a significant mark. The Tel Aviv Museum of Art and the Israel Museum in Jerusalem house impressive collections of both Israeli and international art. In recent years, Israeli cinema and television have gained global recognition. TV series like Fauda, Shtizel and Tehran have become international hits on streaming platforms, praised for their compelling storytelling and complex characters. These shows often explore the tensions inherent in Israeli life, from the Israeli-Palestinian conflict to the dynamics within the ultra-Orthodox community, offering audiences worldwide a glimpse into the country's multifaceted society. Perhaps one of Israel's most celebrated cultural exports is its contemporary dance scene. Companies like the Batsheva Dance Company, under the longtime artistic direction of Ohad Naharan, have revolutionized modern dance. Naharan developed a unique movement language called Gaga, which emphasizes physical sensation and instinctive movement. Dancers from around the world flock to Israel to study this innovative technique. The power, athleticism, and raw emotion of Israeli dance have captivated audiences globally, making it a powerful symbol of the country's artistic energy. This flourishing of arts and culture demonstrates a society that is not only focused on survival and security, but is also deeply engaged in creative expression and the exploration of the human condition. Our journey through Israel reveals a nation of enduring paradoxes. It's an ancient land with a youthful population where echoes of prophets coexist with high-tech startups. Born from a dream of safety, it faces perpetual conflict, grappling with security and occupation. Its story is one of innovation, making the desert bloom and building a world-class economy. The creation of Israel led to the displacement of Palestinians, creating a central, unresolved tragedy. A vibrant democracy, Israel wrestles with social fissures and debates over its future. Forged in war, it innovates for security, turning military tech into economic growth. To understand Israel is to hold competing truths, creativity and conflict, spiritual longing and secular ambition. Israel's story continues, its path dependent on navigating the paradoxes that define it. Looking toward the future, Israel stands at a critical crossroads facing both immense promise and significant peril. The nation's continued leadership in science, technology, and medicine promises a future where Israeli innovation could help solve some of the world's greatest challenges. The Abraham Accords have opened up new diplomatic and economic horizons, suggesting a potential for regional integration. However, the path forward is laden with obstacles, including the unresolved conflict with the Palestinians. Internally, Israel must also navigate the growing rifts within its own society and bridge the gap between the thriving high-tech sector and marginalized communities. Ultimately, the final chapter of Israel's story has yet to be written. It will be authored by a new generation of Israelis, building upon the nation's incredible strengths while finding the courage and wisdom to address its deepest wounds. The story of Israel is a powerful, ongoing testament to the complexities of the human experience.